50 months is not enough. I just finished watching the Diddy documentary and I have some thoughts. One, I decided to watch the documentary for a couple of different reasons. My homegirl who loves documentaries watched it. She said it was well put together. Two, I used to work as an emergency room nurse in Miami. And I don't know if people know this, but Miami is like one of those centralized locations in the United States where a lot of sex trafficking happens because the port is right there. And, you know, the I-95 can take you up to like several different states. And when I worked in the emergency room, one, we received training to help identify and how to deal with a patient if they come in and we suspect that they're being trafficked. And two, because we're a party city and things like Ultra and a whole bunch of other events are taking place and people are coming from around the world to this centralized location, how to deal with the situation. And patients would come in and like young girls going to parties, maybe they're from like some place like Minnesota and they're like turned up, maybe somebody put something in their drink, maybe they ingested something, to have a good time. And you really have to warn them like, hey, this is Miami, babe. You need to keep your head on a swivel because at any given moment, somebody can snatch you up. Next thing you know, you're on a container going to Slovenia or something like that, right? So you got to keep your head on a swivel. The other reason why I was intrigued to see what was in the documentary is when the court cases or the filings were released, it mentioned that there were healthcare providers in this sort of that played a specific position within his whole enterprise and scheme as they were giving the IVs, they were writing prescriptions and stuff like that. And I was interested to see if they were going to touch on it at all. They didn't, and that's most likely because of HIPAA. But overall, I forgot the name of the lady who put it together. I think her name is Alexis Stapleton. I think if you haven't watched it yet, it is a little unsettling when they put the whole case against Diddy together. I think she did a brilliant job, right? She brought in all aspects from the very beginning to all the way to the end. I think she did a phenomenal job of putting the documentary together. And I think this will also serve as people saying, yeah, this guy's a bad guy. We don't want to be around him. Like, Diddy is the definition of when people in New York said, this man is grimy. That's exactly what he is. He's just a grimy dude. And then people also saying that, 50 Cent's a hater. He's, bringing down a black man, blah, blah, blah. Two things could be true at the same time. 50 Cent could be an all-time hater for sure. That could be very well be true. But he could also be responsible for putting together a project that highlights how terrible this person is and the people around him. Because if you look at the document, or when you watch the documentary, most of the people didn't start speaking up until it was evident, like, yeah, the money's probably not going to be flowing anymore. The access is probably not going to be flowing anymore,